Hello everyone. Today we're going to be looking at quadrilateral attributes. Make sure you have this title written in your notebook. Okay, you should have this foldable already stapled and ready for you. The only thing you need to do is add your title, quadrilateral attributes, to the front. We're going to be going through each piece of the foldable to write your notes. Make sure you pause the video to write them and then press play when you're done so that you can listen to the explanation. Also, don't forget that you should watch this video twice before you go on to Google Classroom to answer your question. Okay, the first one we're going to look at is a rhombus. As you can see here on my notes, a rhombus is a figure that has four congruent sides. The word congruent means equal. This figure is also considered a parallelogram. Now, if you look at your flip book, you can see that parallelogram is one of the quadrilaterals that we're going to be looking at later on, but this is just so you have it in your notes. Again, make sure you pause the video to write down your notes, then press play when you're done so you can hear the rest of the explanation. Okay, so now I want to look at my shape drawing that I have here. As you can see, I have each side labeled with this little line. All four sides have the same label. That's because it's showing here that all four sides are equal. This one side is equal to every other one that's on here. That's what makes a figure a rhombus, any figure that has four congruent sides. Alrighty, let's go on to the rectangle. Again, make sure you pause your video to write down your notes, then press play so you can hear the explanation. So a rectangle has four right angles. That means they make a perfect square. As you can see here, that's how we mark up the right angles. If the angle can make a perfect square, then it's a right angle. This shape also has two pairs of congruent sides. Remember that the word congruent means equal. Here I have these lines again. These two sides are equal. If you can see, I have a separate symbol for the other two sides. These other two sides are equal, but they're not equal to the ones that I marked in green. They're only equal to each other. Remember that the word pairs means two. So I have two pairs of congruent sides. The two that I marked in green, and then the two that I marked in orange. Just like the rhombus, this one is also a parallelogram. Alright, let's move on to the square. The square is a figure that has four congruent sides, just like we saw before with the rhombus. But it also has four right angles. Okay. That makes this one a parallelogram, a rectangle, and a rhombus, as well as a square, because it has the characteristics of each of them. Okay, now we're moving on to a trapezoid. A trapezoid has a pair of parallel lines, and if you remember from our previous lesson, parallel means that they're never going to cross. Here those lines are marked by these little arrows. Those are showing that even if these lines extended on forever and ever and ever and ever, if they kept going, the lines would never cross each other. Okay? I have one pair of perpendicular lines. Those are these two lines right here. If you remember, perpendicular means that they are going to cross. If I continued these lines up here, as you can see, they would cross right there. So those are perpendicular. A trapezoid has one pair of parallel sides and one pair of perpendicular sides. Finally, we have our parallelogram. You've heard me refer to this one throughout the video, so pay close attention. This one has two pairs of parallel sides. These two sides are parallel to each other. But these two sides are also parallel to each other. If we continued them on, they wouldn't cross. If we continued these on, they wouldn't cross. The trapezoid only had one pair of parallel lines, but both pairs are parallel. They also have two pairs of congruent sides. Remember again, The word congruent means equal. Alrighty, so now you should have your quadrilateral attributes foldable ready to go. You're going to glue this one into your notebook right where you have your title. It's very, very important that you start memorizing all of these attributes. Remember that figures that qualify as a square also qualify as a parallelogram, a rectangle, and a rhombus. One shape can have multiple different attributes. The same shape can qualify as more than one different kind of quadrilateral, depending on the attributes that it shows. So it's really important that you have this available so that throughout the week, when you're looking at these different shapes, you can use this foldable to help you decide which kind of quadrilateral you can use to name the figure. Don't forget to answer your question on your Google Classroom. Bye!